Building our future for a skilled and productive workforce, the Apprenticeship Maryland program. Welcome. This is an open invitation to our community businesses to learn about the Apprenticeship Maryland program, offered through a collaboration between Prince George's County Public Schools and Prince George's Community College. Hosting is the Prince George's County Public Schools Department of Career and Technical Education and Prince George's Community College. I'm Dawn Carter. I'm the Director of Client Solutions and Strategic Initiatives with Prince George's Community College. Amy Rock is with the County Public Schools as an instructional specialist with the Career and Technical Education area. The objectives that we're going to cover today is what is the Apprenticeship Maryland program, why was it developed, who's eligible, we're going to discuss the businesses and education partners, and how does this program benefit my business, and how does my business participate in this program. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to Amy to fill you in on all this. Thank you.
Health and biomedical sciences, manufacturing and engineering, construction and design, business and finance. So this is why you all were invited, because you are representatives of these fields. And we do have some additional partners with us as well, outside of these fields who we will be introducing in a little bit. So we will be doing that. Now, only one of these five actually uses apprenticeship as a model of instruction or as the model of workforce development, and that's typically the construction trades. So those of you who are in the other fields and you're going, I'm not real sure how this fits with us, you'll see. And I need to stop for a moment because I forgot to hit the record button. So if one of my co-hosts can hit that record button, I've already messed up and forgot. So
I did, Amy.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right. So why are we doing this? One, there's a need. We absolutely have a need within Prince George's County and within the United States for all of our business to be able to build a skilled workforce. All right. How do we recruit our workforce? How do we retain skilled employees? These are all things that local businesses are working and struggling with, particularly during this time. And on our side, on the school side, our students need career options. They need clear pathways and clear options to start planning for their futures, for where they're going to go once they graduate from high school. Now, additionally to this, a little kind of more background on where we are. To be completely transparent, the Department of Education and the legislature have passed legislation saying that by 2025, the expectation is for all of Maryland public schools to graduate at least 45% of their students with either a career certification or license or having completed an apprenticeship. And so we are trying to get ahead of that with those numbers and looking at how we can increase the students who we have who participate in apprenticeship programs, as well as gaining their certifications and licensures. We have thousands of students who are already working part-time jobs. So our goal is how can we take those part-time jobs? How can we take some additional employers and really turn this into something that is going to offer both credit and credentials to our students as they move forward? So according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, approximately 30% of jobs in the United States require a 4-year degree or higher. That means 70% don't. Okay? 70% of the jobs in the United States do not require a 4-year degree or higher. And of the new jobs that are currently being created, about 45% of those are what we call middle skill jobs, jobs that require more than a high school diploma, but less than a 4-year degree. And so that's where we come in, and why we are trying to partner with you is looking at those middle skill type jobs, those that require some type of certification, some type of credentialing, some type of a degree that is less than a bachelor's degree. And so that's in our in all of our transparency of what we are looking at and how we are looking to partner with you. Now, within our educator bubble, okay, those of us who are in the education field, we are well aware that for decades we have been focusing on college, okay, college and universities as the option for students and steering students towards a four-year degree. But when you look at that data, that 70% of the career options in the United States do not require a four-year degree, we also need to be kind of pivoting back to looking at how can we assist those students who want to go into a career that doesn't hold a four-year degree as a requirement. So we're looking at ways to help our students look at all of their options. And one of the great things about career and technical education is that our students in almost every single program earn both a credential and college credits. So it's not an either or, it's not a one or the other, it's a both and situation. And so this is why we've reached out to you. You are our partners in these fields that are in high demand, that offer high wage, and also are highly skilled. And we hope that we are going to be able to assist you with building your workforce. Okay. So how does it work? Very short, very simple. It's an earn and learn for students who, while they are in high school, we are looking at, they must be at least 16 years old. And to complete a Apprenticeship Maryland program, there has to be 1 year of related instruction, okay, RI, and 450 hours of on-the-job training. That's the high school experience. That is the Apprenticeship Maryland. What we hope this transfers into is once they graduate, that they now see some different goals and options for themselves, either full-time employment, continued training and development through traditional apprenticeships, going on to a degree program or another certification program, but that they're able to see a progressive career path, all right? So that we can take them from high school, start them off, and then make sure that they are on a path to a career that is going to be beneficial to them. Now, here's the exciting part for you, okay? You're the designer, okay? You, the business partner, you, the employer, you are the designer of the program, okay? You determine what the related instruction is. You determine the type and scope of objectives for the on-the-job training. And then you are the provider of that on-the-job training and maybe the related instruction as well. But we hope that you're going to use one of us, either Prince George's County Public Schools and one of our CTE programs and the courses we offer. We are providers of that related instruction. We are also the ones who would be the monitoring entity for the AMP as far as the related instruction and the on-the-job training. And then we award high school credit to students when they have completed the program. PGCC can also be a related instruction provider, okay, while they're still in high school. They can award college credit as appropriate to the courses. And then they also offer the continuing education post-graduation. So what we've tried to do with our partnership here between Prince George's County Public Schools and Prince George's Community College is offer to you a track, okay, that our students can take that goes beyond high school into the next level of training. Now, a little bit more detail about each of these components. Okay. The related instruction is 1 year, all right? And it aligns to what it is, the skills that you want these students to learn as part of their on-the-job training. You coordinate this. You can look at our course offerings and say, I like that one. That one's already approved. I like that one that has the things that we want, that we need for our employees. we're going to take and use that one as our related instruction. Great. Okay, that works perfectly. You can also say, we already have a training facility. We're going to use our training, our related instruction. We get it approved. Great. You can use Prince George's Community College, who offer workforce development and college degree programs. So there's lots of different things here with the related instruction. And these next few slides, we're going to kind of show you the progression within these 5 fields of what that would look like for some type of workforce development within your industry. Okay. So when we talk about progressive skill development, what we're talking about is credentialing, degrees, building the skills for those who are involved in the program. So on our end, okay, at the high school level, hopefully you are already aware that we offer these things, but maybe you don't know that these are things that we offer already. So within the information technology field, you can see here the credentials that our students can earn through the pathways that we offer. And you can see those that are offered through the workforce development branch of the community college, and then their degree programs. So as we are looking at developing our students as part of the workforce, you can see that progression, okay, where they can go from individual credentials to full certifications to degree programs as part of their development. And we're just going to go through a few of these, one for each of the different fields. And Dawn, of course, jump in if you have something here for us. With the health and biomedical, we have a new program, biotechnology. We have the health professions, we have biomedical science. And so you can see the different type of credentials that our students are earning in high school. And again, the progression and additional certification programs through PGCC, and then the full degree programs, okay, 2-year programs that we have there as well in healthcare. Construction, our construction partners on the line, you are probably the ones most familiar with our system as you've worked with us in the past on these different things. So in addition to our trades, we also have construction design management, where students can earn the AutoCAD or the Revit certification. All of them earn OSHA 10. And then you can see that we can move on to that through the workforce development program and eventually into construction management. Business and finance, lots of ones here as well. So lots of different things. If you're looking at this, at what type of things do the students come out of high school, move on to the different degree programs. Now, this one you're like, oh, whoa, what happened? Okay, what happened? This one's kind of blank. Manufacturing is an area we do not have any CTE programs at this time. And so we are hoping that some of you, I haven't kind of scrolled the list, we're hoping that some of you who are on this call with us are in that manufacturing field, because this is a growth industry. And we are looking at ways that how can we, better help you in that field. Because as of right now, we have a pre-engineering program, Project Lead the Way. It's nationally recognized, but we don't have anything that is kind of a certification, get your foot in the door, entry level position with the manufacturing and engineering. And the same with the workforce development at Prince George's Community College. They do have an engineering degree program, a 2-year degree program, but this is one where we are kind of reaching out to you as well as some areas where we can develop more. Here's the part that I think is fun. All right, if I was a business person, okay, and I was looking for training, this is not a prepackaged deal. Okay, this is what we offer, take it or leave it. You decide. Okay, you decide which of these things works for your particular business. It's not even by industry, it's by individual business. So large businesses, small businesses, all of these are tailored to the individual. And what we ask for with this We hope that you're going to go and use us for your related instruction or PGCC, our technical education, or you can use other programs and courses that we offer. And the same at PGCC. Also eligible, as we said before, are your own training centers, or if there are other training centers, post-secondary education providers, where you think that might be a better fit. We have partnerships there as well. Now, the on-the-job training, the other portion here, has to be paid. Okay, this is the difference between a lot of the unpaid internship hours that we tend to typically see during high school. This is a job, so this is paid at least minimum wage, and we do expect that that there will be a mentor, that there will be somebody that this will be work experience where they actually learn progressive skills. So, you know, it's not that stereotypical, you're an intern, you're going to go get my coffee and you're going to make copies. This is actually training, all right, on the job training. And there is a written work-based learning plan that, again, the employer develops and says, this is what we're going to train, and this is why. And it becomes a formal agreement. And this is how we are then able to offer credit to those students for high school credit. Because there is a formal agreement that says there are skills being taught, there's credentialing attached, and this is all approved by the Maryland Apprenticeship Training Council. So it will become, if you develop an AMP, it becomes an official apprenticeship track, all right? A youth apprenticeship, it doesn't result in a licensure, but does result in some type of credentialing. Again, completely customizable. All right. To give you a couple of examples, it can be if you're a small business and you say, you know, I've thought before about partnering. I really like this idea, but I only need one. I just need one kid. We can do that. All right. That's what's great with the AMP. It can be one student. It can be a one-off. It is flexible. It is not fixed. It's not a commitment to every year you're going to take 5. So it's different from the things that we have done in the past that way. And we hope that this creates a structure where you then are able to use this kind of as a probationary period almost with them, provide them with that initial training. And then once they graduate, say, hey, you know, you've done great. We would now like to hire you full time. Is that a requirement? No, it's not. But of course, that's our hope is that students who want to go directly into the workforce would be able to use this as a bridge to that opportunity. Okay, getting tired of talking. Good thing we're almost done with the actual presentation part. How this helps you, all right? How this helps you. You get what I call kind of like first dibs on our students, all right? By doing this through AMP, you get first dibs. You get to call and say, hey, you know, we're an industry, we're a business who is looking for this in a prospective employee. And then we help you find them, all right? And so we go through our students, we go through our counseling department, we go through the instructors, and we say, hey, here's the criteria that this employer is looking for. And then we bring you those candidates. So we're kind of your own little workforce development team, helping you find your prospective candidates. And where this is helpful is instead of just, you know, somebody off the street who's applying for one of the jobs that you have posted, you know that they have the skills that you want because you've helped train them. You've helped put them through that process. And what happens with that then is you increase your chance of retaining these employees. They know the job, they know what's required, you've seen their work ethic, and the chance of it being a good fit for you is much higher. Now, what we see with this, and those of you in the construction trades, you're aware of this as well. When we have people who come in entry-level positions, we're hopeful, you know, we cross our fingers that they are, you know, who we're looking for, that what they was represented on paper was correct. You know, and we put them into a training program, we put them into an apprenticeship, and we know that that we lose some. And sometimes we lose a high number, that our retention rate is not good. So this, we hope, will help you with those retention rates. And that should reduce your turnover costs, right? Training costs a lot of money, right? Whether it be in courses, whether it be in on the job, whether it be in benefits that you're paying to them, training costs a lot. And so if we can reduce your turnover costs, we can reduce that output as well. And this helps support your planning for employee succession. You can grow your students to where you want them to be in your companies. Now, for me, because I'm here representing the kids, right? The kids are always, and I say they're my kids. Why we want to do this? One, because if we've already said, a lot of our students already work. They already have part-time jobs. They already are enrolled in these CTE programs. They're already earning these certifications. And we want to be able to help them package that in a way where they actually earn experience in the field they are interested in. Okay, they can gain that experience. So really this from our side it's about the kids. It's helping them to explore, helping them to visualize a career pathway, and then helping them to actually start it. Okay, helping them to actually get it off the ground with a quality employer right here at home. And so by offering the AMP, we are able to then give them transcripted credit, high school credits, for things that they're already doing, okay? Those who are already working. So it's real experience, it's a clear pathway. And even if they don't end up hired with your company, if you offer an AMP and you go, you were great, we just don't have any openings right now, they now have something on their resume that they can take to another business partner here in Prince George's County and in the area. And they've also helped create them for themselves a network of people within the community who can kind of guide them to where they need to go. Now, this is my biggest, kind of personalized pitch. I know y'all are about business and you're all about the bottom line. But this is my bigger world pitch. This helps our community. Okay. When we develop and support our youth, our students, and we help them to gain employment that is high growth, high skilled, that helps the community. Okay, it doesn't just help that one individual student, it helps their family, it helps build our community, it helps build our tax base, it helps you, the businesses, to have a secure pipeline of employees. It helps the schools grow because now we can say these are the results. So it is this circular path that we have to community building. And the idea of we have this motivated and skilled employees who are homegrown, who we have produced and say, these are our kids. And I will tell you, I will put our kids up against any kids in the country, okay, as far as their skills, their abilities, their motivation. So if we are able to strengthen our local workforce, if we are able to then increase our economic growth, guess what? That comes back and helps build the schools. Okay, so when I say this is a circular thing, it truly is. And we want to, even though some of your businesses are outside of Prince George's County, we want to make sure that we are all being Prince George's proud. We are proud of where we are. We are proud of our businesses. We are proud of our schools. We are proud of our students and our community. And we want to be a part of helping to build that, okay, and build that relationship with you all. And so, all right, got it in under time. We want to make sure that that you know our team. So we'll ask you quickly to give a little wave or unmute or smile at us there. Dr. Yvette Snowden, who is the Associate Vice President of Workforce Development and Continuing Education. Okay, you're on mute still, Dr.
Yeah, sorry guys, I'm zooming, unmuting. But first of all, I just want to say we're really excited to see so many people here who are really interested in learning about apprenticeship. And I guess I would ask that if you have questions, if you're looking at this and say, okay, this looks like something that could work for my business, but I'm not sure, please reach out to Amy or Dawn, and we'd be more than happy to sit down and kind of look at, okay, how can we make this work for you? Because as Amy and Dawn indicated early in the presentation, the beauty of the apprenticeship Maryland program and this model is that it can be built to suit your business. The instructional component, the educational components are components in which we'd work with the individual business to design a pathway and an educational and a job training model that really works for your business or your organization in producing the workforce that you need. So it really is exciting to see so many people here. And thank you to Amy and Don for pulling this together. And with that, I'm going to mute myself. Thank you.
Okay, and we will, the final slide on here, we're going to put some things in the chat box for you as far as how to access this presentation and access those documents and how to reach out to us. But I do want to continue with the rest of the team. Dr. Cadet, if you are still with us, Dr. Jean-Paul Cadet is our Director for Career and Technical Education with Prince George's County Public Schools. Dr.
Good
Cadet.
morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. Part of what we do is preparation, and we are preparing our students to support your work. And we have ensured that our kids are the best prepared, the best skilled, and highly motivated to come and add value to your organization, company, or enterprise. So we look forward to partnering with you as we move forward, and we hope that all of the information you received today resonated with you on some level, that you feel compelled and excited to join with us in this work. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Cadet. Dawn, you want to wave back again at folks?
I just look forward to working with the businesses and the students. I have a depth and breadth of the apprenticeship programs. So between Amy and I, we can give you the perfect solution.
And Angela Anderson is our Dean for Health, Wellness, and Hospitality.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am the Dean for Health, Wellness, and Hospitality, but I also tokenly represent the other deans at the college who have the other clusters. So we do look forward to working with all of the businesses in this endeavor. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Angela. And then there's me. Okay. I'm one of the instructional specialists with Career and Technical Education, and I do work with the apprenticeship programs. And Tarshay Washington is the administrative secretary to our director. Tarshay has been helpful here as well. Tarshay, you want to say hey?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for attending today's session.
So we are going to go to our last slide. But before we do that, I do want to recognize, I believe we have a couple of people here who I want to give them a chance to say a few words if they want. We're not going to put you on the spot and make you do it. But I believe we do have Gina Marie Best, who is let me get her title correct, the whole big thing, the Apprenticeship and Training Navigator with the Division of Workforce Development and Adult Learning with the Maryland Department of Labor. Gina Marie, are you on?
I am. I want to say wonderful presentation. Definitely the base of information is abundant. So I encourage any of the employers that are on the call to really look into this, because it's definitely a pathway for employers to use the students and enhance the students' skills, and also create an employee that is loyal to your company. And you take pride in growing your crop, as I say. And for those employers who say, what's the next step? There's also a registered apprenticeship program where it's a full-blown, where these students, you can continue the education of these students in that occupation. And again, we work with all 16 community colleges, as Dr. Snowden also knows. It's good to see you as well, just a side note, that these skills and this education that they're getting during an apprenticeship program is also portable. So we're working with the community colleges. They're using this education as credits so they can continue their education as they go on. So, but thank you for having me on, and I'm going to mute myself.
All right, thank you, Gina Marie. And Sam, I hope you are still on, because what Gina Marie went through and said kind of ties directly into, we do offer a registered apprenticeship in Prince George's County Public Schools. And Sam Stefanelli is our Director of Building Services with Prince George's County Public Schools. And I would hope, if he is still on the line, if we can get Sam to pop up and talk a little bit about the experience that we've had here with that registered apprenticeship of somebody who's actually worked with these students and seen what it is that they can do. So I'm scrolling to see if Sam is still with us. And I don't see him. So Sam, if you're the caller. Okay. He is not with us. So I will just say that from our side, we do have a registered apprenticeship where we have taken with our construction trade students. They work with our building services department, and we have hired them now post-graduation to work with our building services. We have literally grown our own to serve our school district as well. And the thing that I was most excited about with that, beyond the fact that, wow, look, we've hired some actual students, we've got them employed with us, they are now my peers and as fellow employees. The best part of that whole thing, of watching that and kind of monitoring that and going out into the field with them, it wasn't watching the students, it was watching their mentors. Okay, the mentors who they were assigned to, great guys. And it was so much fun for me to see them kind of puff out their chests in pride of being able to teach, of being able to teach someone else their skills and pass on their knowledge. And just to see that sense of pride in the work that they were doing, and the fact that they now had somebody who was their protege, was something really phenomenal to watch. So I do hope that you kind of take that into consideration as well. If apprenticeship is not the typical training model for your field, to kind of look at, how this can grow, not just that new potential employee, but how this also benefits the employees you already have, who are a wealth of knowledge. That they are just, we've got some who are just really willing to then share that with the next generation. So with that, we are going to put up the last of our slides, and we are going to open up for questions. Each of these are a direct link. And so I'm going to ask if our co-hosts can do it, if you can get into the folder and you can put up the links to this presentation itself, and also to the interest survey and the program overview. We're going to put those links into the chat. Okay, so please don't think, oh my gosh, I can't click on it because it's on my screen. We're going to put them up into the chat box so that you can click into those. So if you want, just kind of, you're like, Amy, I'm good, I just want some more information, we are going to give you the program overview, the documents. The interest survey really is for us, those of you who've sat through this presentation with us, thank you. If you're like, I really do want to hear more about this, I really do want to, jump in onto this, we're going to ask you to fill out that survey. So then that gives us the information, kind of more of what type of information you want and how we can connect. And if you can't wait, okay, if you're just like chomping at the bit, ready to get going with this, you can reach out to me or reach out to Dawn or to both of us, and we can get you set up right away with what those next steps would be. So I am going to stop presenting and make sure that we have everything in the chat box, and we're going to open up to questions.
Amy, do you want to speak to the software you have that will help the employers track the 450 hours?
Yes, Yusuf was not able to join us. He got called into another meeting. They're out on the West Coast. But we are introducing this year a new platform, new to us, called Job Speaker, which is going to be a platform. We actually got the platform because of our apprentices. We needed a way to track their hours that was easier than, timesheets. So with Job Speaker, it's a twofold thing. From the employer side, you will be able to post jobs, post opportunities, and then look through those students who we have registered in there, our career and technical education students. You'll be able to go through and see the skills and kind of select students that you would like to interview. You will be able to record all of your hours. You will be able to do all of the evaluations, all in a one-stop shop, okay, that we already have open and provided to you. And we will be launching that in the next month or so. From the student side, it allows all of our students in CTE to put in the skills that they're learning, their credentials. It will build resumes for them, and it will allow them to apply to those jobs that are posted up on the boards. So it's a great platform. It eases some of that burden of reporting, which is the piece that's never any fun. So it eases that work. So Yusuf couldn't join us this morning, but we are, we can, if you're a business partner and you want to know more about that platform, we can put you into contact with him.
So Angie has a question. Angie, if you can unmute yourself.
Hi, I'm
Or-
Angela. Yes, can you hear
Okay.
me?
Yes.
I'm Angela Ballard-Landers with WSSC Water. So I do have a question regarding the paid portion. Has any consideration been given to county agencies that have hiring freezes? So while we may have hiring freezes to actually hire students, but there's still opportunity to possibly do an apprentice program. So with the pandemic, there are some agencies that do have hiring freezes. So that is, but there's still opportunities there. So has any consideration been given to how to proceed with that or any other alternatives?
Yes and no. Because we do recognize, and this is where, we're all in kind of suspended animation at this point. And part of getting this set up right now, this doesn't, if you say, hey, I want to move forward with this sounds awesome. It doesn't necessarily mean that like we start next week. Okay. We build the program. And so we're really looking out at the earliest of summer. Okay. So, here's crossing fingers that things are going to be progressing. So we're really looking at how do we build this out. And so there is a process where, there is the paperwork piece and getting it all in place. So it's not a quick turnaround. So on one hand, that's great because that gives us some time during all of this, to put it in place. And then as things reopen up, as those hiring freezes, come off, as, your businesses, come back if they're kind of been slowed down, then we have the paperwork, we have the approvals in place, and then we can match the students. So as I say, a yes and a no, it is one of the requirements that it be a paid position. Now it is an apprenticeship, so it's a temporary position. It's not requiring a full FTE, from any business, but that is one of the qualifiers of the program, that it be paid.
And Amy, I would just add as well, I think that's one of the beauties of having the conversation with the employers and with businesses, and is to really be able to look at opportunities such as that and just see how an opportunity can be crafted. That, and particularly as we know, many businesses as well as their employees have been impacted through COVID and the pandemic. But I think the beauty of the apprenticeship model, aside from the training and the education, is the opportunity for business, the educational institutions, the apprenticeship program to really look together and determine how do we, I don't want to say work around, but how can we address those challenges? How can we look at, what components could be brought in or taken away to address these challenges? Because I think through the model, what we'd hope to develop, particularly as you look at the school system and the community college, is not only creating a pipeline, but also pathways. And with those pathways, education, training, and hopefully the retention of employees in your organization. So I think, again, the beauty of the model is to be able to look at how can we address some of those challenges for organizations that currently have hiring freezes and so forth. But again, being prepared for when things open up.
I would also like to add, I know with the registered apprenticeship programs, a lot of our sponsors, because of this pandemic, it has caused them to evolve in the way they do things. And I think that's what, that's the one thing from this pandemic that I have taken away is how people have adapted to overcome these barriers. So with the registered apprenticeship programs, even with the AMP program, we find that if the employer can't give them the on-the-job training part because of work conditions, things like that, the students the apprentices within both programs on all aspects are still able to take classes. So I think it's incumbent upon us to make sure that just because you can't get the on-the-job training side, that you can still get the education side. And when you're able to go back to work or be able to come to those, undo the freezes, that part is added on in the end. So I think it's just finding new ways, like I said, it's evolving. It's a work in process. Nobody has gone through this, and this is a first for everybody. So yeah, a lot of companies are doing freezes and they're like, oh, we can't do anything, but yet you still need that person to do the job, So as it's been said, we're just trying to find other ways to accomplish the goals. So.
Thank you, Gina Marie. And just so everyone knows, in the chat, thank you, Tarshay. Tarshay put up the overview documents for the AMP. I have added in the interest form. So if you're like, yes, I want to hear more, please do click that link and fill out that form for us. And then we will be getting back with you real quickly. And then I've also shared the link to the presentation. Please share this. If you have, friends, colleagues, partners, rivals, out there in the business world, please do share this with others who you think, hey, even if this isn't a good fit for you, maybe it's a good fit for someone else. So we do want to spread this information widely to make sure that we are reaching all of our partners who are out there. And I'm going to tell y'all, okay, I don't have my glasses on, so I can't read the chat question. So if somebody else who is a co-host can read that chat question.
The question is from Ketri Walters. I have my glasses on, but I think it's actually Waiters. I'm sorry. Hi, I stay in Northern Virginia and can I apply for Maryland apprenticeship? Thank you.
I'm going to give that to Gina Marie. For us, with the Apprenticeship Maryland, this is something that is done through our school system. And this is a presentation for employers, but Gina Marie, you might be able to give some links or some information regarding other ways to enter into an apprenticeship.
So when you say, can I apply for an apprenticeship, meaning as a job seeker or an employer? Look, blink once for employer, blink twice for job seeker. I see you typing away, so.
Okay.
Yes, so as a job seeker, it doesn't matter where you live, but just know if you are applying for a registered apprenticeship program that's in the state of Maryland, that you will be working in Maryland. Now, when it comes to certain occupations like that of the trades, your home base may be in Maryland, but like with constructions, the site changes, so they can change as well. But with Virginia, they also have an office of apprenticeship, so they should have some posted, but I will add to the chat the apprenticeship locator. As you can see my screensaver in the back. It is a site that the apprenticeship locator is all of our sponsors that agreed to be listed on our webpage, and they all have registered apprenticeship programs. And if they have youth apprenticeship as well, which is AMP, the AKA AMP, it will be listed on there as well. So yes, you can apply.
Thank you, Gina Marie. Any other questions that we have? We're about about 10 minutes still left that we will stay open and stay on the line with you. But that you've stuck with us this long, we thank you. We appreciate you attending. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, my name is Cheryl Ellison Pons with Dye Technologies Corporation, your enlightened electric vehicle charging specialist. The reason my question is about location. So my business is based in Prince George's County. I'm very interested in this program. However, my projects take my business all over the region. A significant amount of my business is in Washington, D.C. and in Montgomery County. Are there any like age restrictions, travel restrictions? If they're an apprentice, am I required? Do they get there on their own? Or do I have to provide transportation for the job site? What's required?
That's your decision. Is really what that is. We do have some employers who honestly, they're like, look, I'm going to get you a bus and I'm going to bus your kids where I need them to be. Mm-hmm. And others are like, no, they need to find their way to the job site, mm-hmm. which is what normal employment is. So it is truly up to you. So if, with the business being located here, but they have different work sites around the region, then that would be part of the requirements that you build into your proposal, that, anybody who applies for this must be able to provide their own transportation. Age limits for us, our students, they have to be at least 16. So the AMP program is really based on kind of those 16 to 18-year-olds until they graduate. And then once they graduate, then and they're 18, then there are different the restrictions are lifted on some of the things they can do. So age of 16 is our minimum, and you set the requirements as far as transportation and, job sites within the region.
Okay, thank you.
Just to add to that, the registered apprenticeship programs as a guideline for requirements, majority of our sponsors' requirements are 18 years of age, high school or older, high school diploma or GED, or in the processes of getting their GED, reliable transportation, and that can mean bus pass, Uber, however, and drug-free. Mm-hmm. That's a majority of the minimum that most of our sponsors have for an apprentice. When it comes to youth apprentice, like she said, it's 16. It's really based off of the high school students. So we usually say juniors and seniors. So it's really, like she said, it's based off what the employer is asking for and what your company requirements are. Because we do have sponsors that have full-blown registered apprenticeship programs that are taking 16-year-olds, like CVS. They start at 16. because they do retail store manager and pharmaceutical technician. So it's some of the age, when it comes to age restriction, it's based on what the company also has in their policy. So.
Okay, the other question I have, are there any incentives that like offset the costs for the small businesses, or we just write it off as a normal business expense?
Yes, and you do both. So the Maryland Department of Labor Workforce Development does have a program for small businesses. The requirements are that you have 500 employees or less in the state of Maryland in order to participate in Maryland Business Works. What this is funding that will, I call it the 50-50. It's up to $4,500 per employee per year, $40K per company per year is the max. So basically, if the training were to cost you, let's say $9,000 to send somebody for the education, the cost of that education, you would fill out this application before they start the training. And we always say like 3 weeks prior, but for the safety, I always say do it 2 months prior to when they're going to start their related instruction. You send it in, we reimbursed you up to half of that cost, so the $4,500. So you maxed out for that employee for that year. So this is something that you can reapply for. You can use it now if you are training your existing staff, or in the future. So it's ongoing.
Okay, thank you.
I'll put that link in the chat as well.
Thank you.
I'm glad you're on the call, Gina Marie. I'm checking our time. Again, so folks, again, we will stay on with you a little bit longer if there are additional questions. And if not, we thank you again. Thank you so much for joining us and listening to us and our presentation. And the links are in the chat. We will also, to everyone who was on the invite, we will send those out as well to you via email so that you have those as well. But if anybody was like super excited, you could have linked right now to the interest form. But we thank you and we hope that you have a great rest of the day. And so with that, I'm going to stop the recording.